Bad muscle memory. What I mean by the term bad muscle memory is really inefficient muscle memory. Most singers that are struggling, what's happened is at some point in the past, they have began singing with little thought and they have looked for results first and have ignored the fundamentals. What tends to happen is that they have started to engage muscles that aren't naturally and normally used in the vocal when using the vocal mechanism, when singing or vocalizing. What I mean by that is, pretend I've got a weight in my arm and I'm lifting it up, and I put this look on my face, this kind of those muscles in my face are activating. Now, do those muscles directly have any impact on me lifting that weight? Not really. Almost none. Basically no impact. If I do this over and over and over again for a long period of time, that creates a habit in the mind. It creates muscle memory. What that means essentially is that anytime I make this motion, without thinking, the muscles that I've habitually used will engage. I won't need to think about it anymore. It will become automatic. So what happens with singers is they start engaging muscles in and around the neck and jaw that aren't directly going to impact their voice, aren't an efficient way of using their voice, and they habitually add the swallowing muscles. If you swallow, put your thumbs there, you'll feel them tense. They start to add things like that, extra muscles in the jaw, it gets tight, all these muscles in the neck, basically muscles near the larynx, in hope that it will impact their singing. And they've reinforced this over a long period of time. So when they go to sing, automatically it all grabs. And the longer they've done that and reinforced that bad muscle memory, the more instinctive and automatic it will be, and the harder it will be to get away from. I've had singers who are basically beginners and who've not really sung before, who've come into my to get some lessons with me, and within an hour they are doing things that took me about 4 years to get to, because they've never sung before, so they've never had the chance to build up any bad habits, any of that bad muscle memory that takes time to undo. So when people are really struggling with their voice, most of the time, the process of learning to sing is actually the process of undoing that bad muscle memory to try and get back to the very beginning, where we all start, when we were children. Basically, that clean slate, that's where they have to get back to. And this is the common misconception about learning to sing, is that people that are struggling think, right, what have I got to do now? Like, what's the next step to move forward? They don't think, hang on a sec, I need to go back to fundamentals. I need to think, what have I missed here? Like, what is the basic, the most basic, simple approach that I could have used to start with and built on? Why has singing become hard for me? So they're looking for moving forward. They don't want to look back and think, what have I done that's made this difficult? And that really is what bad muscle memory creates. It creates this eventual need to go back and undo that bad muscle memory. And at first, what happens is the voice is going to be all over the place, because when we try and undo a habitual reflex, basically, wrong muscles that we've linked up to singing, when we try and undo that, at first they still want to hold on because they're so used to holding on. Over time, they begin to let go, but anytime during that process when we are under pressure to sing, generally people will go back to what they know, to grabbing. Over time, eventually, the new habits will replace the old habits, and the easy, simple, clean style of singing will become the dominant habit. But depending on where you are and how much you're struggling, that process can take much longer or much shorter. Like I say, you can have singers, even older singers who are beginners. I had a guy on Wednesday, a couple of days ago, and he literally had never really sung before, and he's just interested in singing, wants to get into it. And like I said, he made huge amounts of progress very quickly because he never had that opportunity to put that bad muscle memory there and reinforce it. The singers that struggle the most that come to me are always singers that have sung a lot with no help and have gone down the wrong road towards push and strain, and I have to drag them back towards that easy, natural place. So what's the point of all this? Well, the point is, if you are struggling with your voice, the answer may not be where you think it is. It may not be, right, what have I got to learn now? It may actually be, most of the time it is, a case of what have I added to this process that's making it difficult for me? And how am I going to learn to take that away? How am I going to find the simplest, easiest way to make sound and build on that foundation rather than building on a shaky foundation that's just going to lead me to push and strain and singing to become increasingly difficult in a vicious cycle. We're looking for a positive cycle of easy, free singing, and that has to be started on from a basic, easy foundation, just simply making sound. Without any expectation of it sounding great or it sounding amazing. It has to be just, right, I need to just make sound. Just like when I speak, I'm not adding anything to the process, just make sound. Start with that. Just a nice simple slide. That just there is going to be much more likely to lead you towards finding something nice and easy than anything where you think, right, I need to sound good now. And that is bad muscle memory. I hope this has helped you today, guys. Have a great weekend and take care. Bye-bye.